Good evening, everyone, and welcome once again to the place to be each and every Sunday night, where tonight we are coming to you for round, there it is, round two. Oh no, apparently we're not. Hang on. Let's hit that button again. Round two of season 29 of Sunday Night Lights from Laguna, Seca, where we've got our biggest and best field of the season so far. We're only 2 weeks in. It only took us 2 weeks to hit 5K, but 5K strength of field we have hit, which is great to see. Popular track, free track, big night of racing ahead for yours truly, Alex McKellar. And joining me once again is, as always, the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser. Corey, like I said, mate, big night of racing ahead.
That's exactly right, Alex. We've got 19 cars in the field, almost a full book, and a 50-81 strength of field. Absolutely amazing. It should be an absolutely cracking race around what is a really historic racetrack. Plus, you can't forget about the corkscrew.
Mate, it's where dreams are made and shattered at the same time. Anyway, big bumper field. Let's go through it here. Christian Perez is car number one, but he's not out on the field. We'll grab a look at him throughout the race, no doubt. But Pablo Espes, a fan favourite, returning with a massively updated I rating, 7,300. The young Spaniard. He's car number two here tonight. Car number three, the bridesmaid, Adam Miles from Miles Ahead Racing. He's back for another crack at his maiden win. Dario Frattini for FPM Cube Controls. He's back once again, having another crack at his car number four. Dennis Johansson, the Great Dane himself in the Doggo-mobile. He is back as car number five. Car six tonight, you won't see Lynn. Great to see for Five Star Motorsport, you won't see. We see him in the skips of the big races, and he usually puts on a good show as well. Speaking of putting on a show, we've got Team Torpedoes, Flying Dutchman, Tim Hendrickson back again. Had some pace at Scuba last week. What can he bring for us here at Laguna Seca this week? Rasmus Voory's back again as well. The Finn, Flying Finn. Got a Flying Dutchman and a Flying Finn. We'll have to think of some new nicknames for him, but Voory's been outstanding on track this week, as he was last week. And great to have him more regularly in the series as well. Dimitri Philippides. Now, he's got the French flag there. We found out during the week that he does, in fact, have French heritage and pedigree with the Australian accent, living in Asia. He's half French, as it turns out. So there you go. And we caught up about that during the week. Now, one of an absolute shudder of clowns and leading the way for the team clowns is head clown himself, Vasco Sorosky, who's out to put on a strong performance tonight. Corey, rounding out top half of the field.
That's exactly right, Alex. And coming in as our 11th plated car here tonight from the UK and I will be Martin Booker. Then we have Neil Gardner making his return as the 12th plated car here tonight. One of the fastest Kiwis you'll see in a Skippy. We've got Loris Amadio from Italy as our 13th plated car here tonight. And it's not very often we see him down as car number 13. Can you imagine that, Alex? 5K and only the 13th rated car in the race.
Crazy stuff.
Absolutely. As we go on to car number 14 now, Team Milo's boss man, Russell Clark from Oz NZ. And coming in at car 15 from Japan, we have Hideki Oihara. Oihara?
Yep, that's the one.
I'm a little bit too Australian for that one. Coming in as car number 16, it's going to be Paul Wilson from Oz NZ. We've got Donald Sabinow, another one of the Team Milo drivers, coming in as car 17 for Oz NZ. And we wrap up the field with a couple more clowns, Alex. Justin Watt, car number 18 from Oz NZ, and then sneaking in with the absolute skin of his teeth. It's a 31.79 to get into this race, Alex, and that one belongs to Gregory Adams.
Yeah, he was dodgy on whether he wanted to be the last one in or the first one into the second split, but not too bad at the moment, sitting at P8 in the provisional standings ahead of his teammate there, Justin Watt. Perez, though, jumps to the top of the pops immediately upon doing his first lap with a 35.6 for his first lap. That's a fantastic time. for Astro Racing Team's Christian Perez. Of course, Perez has donned the winner's cap a couple of times in terms of season championships, and hoping to do so again this season potentially, but just out for a good time. In talking to Christian, he regularly just loves the thrill of the racing, and hopefully that's what he gets here tonight, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex, and that's what we hope that these drivers get out of all this at the end of the day, is they have a whole bunch of fun as they rip around these racetracks in these awesome little cars that we know as the Skip Barber Formula 2000, as I think Gregory Adams has just crossed the line for his second lap, and he's only going 14th. But back up the top, Dario Frattini coming in at P2, Alex.
Yeah, Frattini's had some pace here. Miles has just pipped him as we are on board with Perez as he comes through the final stages of his second lap. He's beaten everyone already, and he hasn't even run the second lap yet. Of course, people are struggling to get into the 35s in quali this week. He's done it with his first lap, not just in it, he's smashed into it. And he's coming now for what could be the best quali time of the week. It's come to the final run through. What's the Spaniard got for us? The Astro Racing Team's Christian Perez, 35.39. I think that will go close to getting him the fastest time of the week in quali. Very, very close, if not. And well deserved. I mean, it only shaved 2/10 off, but he's 6/10 into the 35s. So that's the sort of time people are, I don't know, they'd give an arm and a leg for.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And it's just under 3/10 clear of the second place pace set by Adam Miles. And just about 3 seconds clear of what I can do at my peak around his track as well. So, we're waiting for Rasmus Fiori to finish his second lap. Oh no, he's on a cooldown lap already. Philippides is out there as well. He's already finished his second lap. I don't know who we're waiting for. I think Russell Clark bailed out of his second lap. Same too for Dennis Johansson. So a couple of troubles for some of the faster drivers out there, Alex.
Yeah, just a minute to go. The clock might jump forward depending on who's doing what with their qualies. But yeah, just confirmed. That was Christian's second best personal qualifying time of the week and third best overall. So he's got two of the best three in the week. Only beaten by Javier Chavez, who I'd love to see out here on a Sunday night again. He, of course, won the Nords round last season. And the great Leo Ovcharov, he's from California. He can't join us here on a Sunday night, but he's done one time there in third. Well, it'd be the fourth best, given that Christian's just beaten it again. And Espes is right up there. Viori. There's a few of them really quick drivers in here. Of course, as like drivers start getting ready to take the grid, we'll run through it. Christian Perez for Astro Racing Team, 35.3, third best time of the week. Sticks it on pole ahead of Adam Miles, who joins him on the front row. It's nearly 3/10 behind. That belies Adam's pace, of course, but certainly speaks volumes to Christian's qualifying effort. Dario Frattini for FPMQ Controls starts on third on the second row. Right next to him will be Pablo Espes from Iberia. Martin Booker for Fungus Turret Racing. Great to see Marty out here on a Sunday night. Starts from fifth ahead of leading ANZ driver on the night, Vasco Sorowski for Team Clowns. Rasmus Vori from Finland. He starts out of seventh. Alongside him, the Flying Dutchman for Team Torpedo, Tim Hendrickson, out of eighth. Dimitri Philippides starts out of ninth tonight ahead of Wave Italy Racing Team's Laura Samadio in 10th. Starting from 11th, the Great Dane, Dennis Johansson in the Doggomobile. Right next to him will be Team Milo's Donald Sabanal. Going over the page, 13th off the grid tonight will be Hideki Ogihara for Nagai Racing School. Alongside him will be Neil Gardner from ANZ. Captain 499 starts in 14th. 15th tonight will be Team Bossman for Team Milo. Russell Clark, the 31C Lynn, 5-star Motorsport, out of 16th. Just ahead of Team Clowns, Greg Adams out of 17th. His teammate in 18th, Justin Watts. And Paul Wilson, rounding out your field of 19 for this 5K bumper. Strength of field. Corey, looking forward to this one. Who's your money on at this stage?
Oh, well, with the qualifying pace, it's going to be hard to put it past Christian Perez to get the win. But Frattini, he's put in his best qualifying effort of the week right now as well. So there's a lot of possibilities. There's also a lot of chances for things to go wrong and for things to get really exciting, Alex. But money's definitely going to have to stay on Perez, I think.
Could well be, as the red lights come on The drivers rev their engines and get ready to go, and go they do, as we're off for the first of 15 laps here tonight as I head down to the Andretti hairpin at turn 2 for the first time. This is where dreams are made and broken at the same time. Coming down the hills, they start to fan out 2 and 3 wide. Deep in the pack, almost, yeah, they got 3 wide briefly, but they seem to have made their way through cleanly. In one of the few times this season, they're still 2 and 3 wide deep in the pack, but they're managing to get it done. We've said this before here on a Sunday night, Corey, so many race winners here during the week, all in one race, all of them trying to move forward at the same time. Watch the sparks fly.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. It becomes a little bit of a dogfight sometimes as I'm watching deep in the pack. Viore, behind him is Tim Hendrickson and Vasco Swarovski. Hendrickson, who didn't really have the best qualifying efforts, just moved his way past Vasco up into P7. And he's going to slowly start chipping away at this field a little bit. As, oh no, he's gone very wide.
Oh,
he's gone
Swarovski
sideways
as well. The Great Dane's gone with them. It's all come unstuck early on, and that's dashed a few hopes there, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And it all happened from one simple little mistake. Tim Hendrickson just got out into the gravel trap and around he went, and all chaos broke behind him. Unfortunately, that's going to leave both himself and Vasco Swarovski in the pit lane, which, oh, Vasco, I feel so bad for him. But maybe this is your chance to get above him in the championship points for the Aussie title.
Yeah, I'm just... there are better ways to do it. I'm hoping I can just grab the replay. No, that's not it. Let's see if this is it. Oh, no, that's after as well. Oh, I can't spend all night looking for it. I think we all caught it live anyway. Sorry, folks, but it looked like Henderson just lost the rear. And hasn't that just busted up what was going to be a race of champions now? But we do have a lead pack of 6 still with it all on the line, led by the great Christian Perez with Espes behind him. Adam Miles has been shunted by 1 position, as has Frattini. Espes has moved forward 2 to sit behind his compatriot Christian Perez in this lead pack of 6. Tell you what, there's some races in this pack too. Perez has got a great race IQ. Espes is fairly racy himself. Great young driver. Really got some great pace. And the I rating now is starting to match the speed, which means he's got the racing a little more under control these days. And he's a genuine threat to take the top Spanish crown from the man in front of him, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And, you know, it's great to see these guys are finally getting up into the I rating that, you know, we would expect them to be. And, you know, that really helps us here from the broadcast point of view as well, because it makes this a more lucrative race to want to participate in with, you know, having such great drivers in the field. And then you look at someone like Martin Booker, who's in 5th. He's car 11 in this field. He's a 5.6K. He's mixing it up with these 8Ks and these 7K drivers, which is absolutely amazing to watch.
Yeah, mate, it is. It's great to see that the Skippy drivers and the community is still coming out to support us here on a Sunday night, and they get rewarded with some great racing there. Look at the different lines. Miles was coming in narrow, pushed out wide between the 2 apexes at turn 2, the hairpin there, and then comes out equally as well as the guys in and around him, although Espes really got the better drive out of the corner, although I thought the line Miles took, he might have at least matched it. Fastest lap of the race, unsurprisingly, in a 5-car draft. Currently sitting 6th, Rasmus Viore. He did a 35.9 and we're 2 laps in. So the guys really putting on a cracking pace to begin with. Meanwhile, back in P7, we have Philippides leading Sabanal, who's the leading ANZ driver in this field, up 4 positions. Amadio and Gardner in behind, and the Team Milo bossman Russell Clark sitting in 11th. Ogihara, the lone Japanese driver, who's done plenty of racing here in the Subaru livery this week. Corey, looking to put all that hard work to good use here tonight.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. I was just having a quick squiz at my standings here, and I was having to notice that the Aussie Z drivers doing really well for themselves right now. Sabanal, Gardner and Clark all up 4 positions from where they started, which is no mean feat around a track like Laguna Seca, where there is only but 3 or 4 maybe passing opportunities.
Yeah, 100%, mate. They're doing very, very well. And they're in a tightly bunched sort of group there, led by Subbanals. We see Gardner a couple behind. Clark tucked in behind the classic McLaren livery that Gardner wears so proudly. Ogihara now taking a defensive line from Yuan Si Lin into turn 2. Adams now one of 2 remaining clowns in the race, ahead of his teammate Justin Watt, down there in 15th position, himself up 3 positions. And Paul Wilson, the ANZ driver, rounding out the guys who I think, no, there you go, Johansson's still on the lead lap. He's had an unhappy night this night in his racing, unfortunately. Meanwhile, back up front, we check in on the 2 Spaniards leading the way. Fastest lap by Adam Miles last time round with a 35.8. They're almost down to the qualifying time in clean air that Perez set. And I'm wondering, yeah, we should, I reckon, tonight, Corey, we'll duck into the magic 34s is my prediction before the night's over. Although, look at that, Miles has gone wide. He's let Frattini through. Don't tell me he's busted the suspension. Yeah, he has. He's clipped it. Oh, no. He's clipped the dreaded bollard at the apex of turn 6, and that's Miles gone, Corey.
Oh, that is absolutely unfortunate. But I guess on the positive side of things, he's not the bridesmaid tonight, so we can't make fun of him for that. But still very devastating. That's going to be his race gone. He's going to be right towards the back, as he also spins out coming into the pit lane entry, a very tight pit entry around this track as well. But one thing that I did notice, Alex, is that just before that, in the first few sections of the corners, Martin Booker was trying to keep up with the pace that the front 4 were putting out there. Just ran wide a few times, and both himself and Viore backing off a little bit from his top 3 now because of that.
Yeah, looks like the top 3's busted away now. After that, has Frattini hung on? He's just barely hanging on to the nose-to-tail duo of Perez and Espes. Frattini desperately trying to hang on. 6/10. He caught up half a tenth also through the first 2 sectors. Into the 3rd sector now. He'll be hoping that draft will suck him back up the hill as the Spaniards are tightly coupled nose-to-tail. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Miles did the warm-up race and he did the same thing, I think, Corey. He hit the bollard at turn 6, which will destroy the inside front left suspension. And unfortunately, 2 races in a row, that's a costly pair of mistakes there for Miles.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And especially considering the quality of the field that you're in, you can't be making those little mistakes. You've got to be able to hit that particular section absolutely perfect 100% of the time, or else, you know, we saw what happened with Henderson, and we've seen what happened with Miles, and, you know, it's a really fine line, and to take a quote out of an old song, it's a fine line between pleasure and pain, and he was definitely feeling the pain from that one.
Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. The pain that many have shared this week just goes to show that some of the best can do it as well, folks. Those of you who've experienced that pain this week. Frattini now doing his best, and he's closed up a bit. Actually, he's now nestled just over half a second. Oh, there's some action going on here. Ogihara and Lin. I saw my telemetry bouncing around like a tennis ball in a schoolyard. Oh, and off in the background. Who have we lost? I think it was Sabanal. Let's where is it? Is this it? Oh, there's massive incident. Hang on. Here, is this it? No, it's already happened here. Oh gosh, there's lots going on. I'm just trying to see if I can find it, folks. I'm having all sorts of trouble finding the incidents here tonight. Wow, I don't know. So much going on. This will be it. It's Clark and Amadio, I think. Oh, I think Clark's drifted out into Amadio, and that's caused that. And then in the background, oh, I think Sabanal's hit the rear of Neil Gardner, and that's pushed him off into Clark, and then it's all happening in the background. Oh, I wonder I had trouble finding it. There was so much going on, Corey, and that's decimated the battle pack that I was just about to dive into to see how they were going. As up front, we still got a battle pack of 3 going on with Perez, Espes and Frattini.
Well, as I said it before the race started, Alex, it's very easy for mistakes like that to happen around a track like this. This is one of the more unforgiving tracks that we go to, just because if you run off the track at all, it is just gravel. And mistakes like that, especially in a hard braking zone like into turn two, it, it, it can be absolutely devastating if you just get it that minutely wrong. And, you know, we've already seen a couple of big incidents already. And we're not even halfway through the race yet, Alex.
Yeah, that's it, mate. It's really decimated this field. We had such a spectacular tight-knit race last week with multiple battle packs throughout. This time the main focus will be up front. Respes and Perez are bringing along Frattini. It goes Spaniard, Italian at this stage. Vori is running a lonely race there in P4, I should say, but he's up 3 positions. Martin Booker started 5th, runs 5th at the moment. Filippides up 3 positions. And somehow out of that I don't know, that melee, that fracas, I don't know what you call it, at turn 2, a lap or so back, Clark's managed to come out clean skin, up 8 positions, as is Yuan Si Lin behind him, sitting in 7th and 8th respectively. See what, I'm going to have to go back after the race and have a look at that one again. Probably do it offline. I don't know, but somehow he's tripped the light fantastic and he's left himself in a battle with Yuan Si Lin for just sitting outside the top 5 in 7th and 8th. Corey.
Yeah, absolutely, Alex. And, you know, the battles that you can get around here will be absolutely fantastic. We saw in a warm-up race, the top 3 were battling it out on the last lap. There was like 4 or 5 different attempts at moves going on, but nothing ended up coming of it. So as well as it being an exciting place to try and make a move, it's also a fairly difficult place, especially with this caliber of field, to actually execute said maneuvers. So it should be interesting as we start getting towards the middle stages of this race, when the intensity starts picking up as the leaders absolutely bomb their way through turn 6, and Perez is still on the gravel. He was dirt tracking all the way up the hill then, Alex.
Yeah, not uncommon to see. It's so hard to get turn 6 right lap after lap, but at the same time we saw Lin make a move on Clark into turn 5 as they too run up towards the corkscrew with Ogihara tucked in behind. There's a battle now, an ANZ battle between we've got Adams and Gardner coming through the corkscrew just behind them. Paul Wilson follows suit. He's just quietly making his way around up 7 positions, being charged or chased down hard and fast by Adam Miles, who's looking to make up what he can of this race. The Great Dane, Dennis Johansson, brings the Doggo-mobile through the corkscrew once again, all the way down in 14th. Meanwhile, checking back in with our leaders, it is business as usual with 2 Spaniards and an Italian, led the way by Perez with Espes and Frattini tucked in behind. I expect that as we are starting to dive deeper into the second half of this race, the action here will heat up before the race is over, Corey.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. Before too long, these guys are going to start fighting tooth and nail. And I've made another observation here, Alex. Russell Clark, Gregory Adams, and Paul Wilson all started 15th, 17th, and 19th, and each of them are up 7 positions. So there's something about the odd numbers in the back few rows that has definitely ignited something in some of these drivers. Also, Yuan Si Lin up 9 positions from where he started, Alex, up into P7, which is an absolutely fantastic result so far.
Yeah, he's got to hang on to it. And look, he's got past Clark and he's looking to make every post a winner, relatively speaking. Up 9 positions, certainly nothing to sneeze at. Meanwhile, this ongoing rivalry, the local derby between Team Clowns here, Team Clowns owns Greg Adams and Neil Gardner. Looks like Adams has got the slightly better run through the corkscrew there, looking to make what he can of it and potentially drop Gardner after his earlier incidents. And coming through now, Paul Wilson is being chased down by number 3 there and Adam Miles, who, like I said, is trying to make his way back to something by way of salvaging a result here tonight. And back up front, it remains, as I said, business as usual. Perez, Espes, Frattini setting lap after lap. Yeah, we are. We're in the 34s, not even the Not even the middle stages of the race had gone by before we're into the 34s, Corey. 34.6 is currently the best lap of the race set by Frattini, obviously in a two-car draft, but that is certainly cooking with gas, as they say.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And it's more than just cooking with gas. It's cooking with some high-octane avgas. That's how fast some of these guys are going, as Espes now trying to look for a way around Perez here, just trying to tempt Perez into making a mistake. And this is where, you know, a pressure to pass kind of scenario could come into fruition here at this track. And it is about hard braking and trying to outsmart your opponent, but it's also about trying to pressure them into making a mistake to make your life easier when it comes to making the overtake. As we go through the penultimate corner, heading up to turn 11 now to start coming back along the front straight. We're going to have 5 laps to go now, Alex. Who do you have your money on? Because my money is still unchanged on Perez.
Yeah, good money's on Perez at the moment. I haven't seen Espes up close in terms of his tactics, but I think he's just biding his time more than anything before he has a crack. Certainly the question will be whether or not he can get the job done. Now I've got in my telemetry here Paul Wilson unfortunately having a moment, and I'm betting that it is through here at the Fable turn 6. Adam Miles has got the job done in getting by him. Don't tell me that he has gone the same way. And is he... Oh, he's missed it. He's just lost the rear. Oh, please. There we go. He got out of the way in time. Well played. He held the brakes, unfortunately on the racing line, but he did the right thing and held the brakes and just got away with it. But it certainly cost him some time. Back up front now. So Paul Wilson's still up 5 positions after that little incident there, that little spin. No damage, of course, other than to his position, which cost him 2. Adam Miles and Dennis Johansson both going through. Checking in with our local derby battle. Oh, Adams now making defense a priority into turn 5, with Gardner now looking to take advantage and get the run out of 5 up towards the kink at 6. Are they brave enough to go 2x2 at this stage of the race? No is the answer. Discretion, most certainly the better part of valor, as we've seen one of the best and more come unstuck there tonight and during the week, of course. Meanwhile, back up front, we are still, as per your standard programming, Perez, Espes, Frattini still looking to run away and hopefully turn the wick up at some stage here.
Well, as we start getting into 4 laps to go, Alex, this is when all the planning is going to have to start coming out, and you're going to have to start trying to make moves as defensive. Into turn number 2 goes Perez. Espes taking a very wide line into turn number 2, trying to just take any advantage he can. I mean, he's already made Perez have to go defensive, as up the inside he goes at turn 3. That's not normally where you make a move, but it's definitely a place where, you know, it could happen, as these guys are going to look for any way to try and make position, Alex. It looks like the intensity is starting to rise here in the top 3.
Yeah, certainly a valid strategy there by Espes. Put Perez off his lines. Perez, if he's able to run his lines cleanly, close to, if not the quickest, certainly the quickest guy in this field. Espes wanting to put challenge to that, of course. But of course, it's so difficult to pass. If he gets to run clean lines, you've got to make something happen offline. But better than that would be to make your opponent change his line, as we saw into turn 1 last time round, or turn 2 hairpin, I should say. Espes made Perez take a defensive line. However, interestingly, Espes runs quite wide as his natural line through the hairpin there at turn 2. So I'm not sure that it bothers him too much, as Perez goes very wide again, picks up another incident point on the exit of the penultimate corner now. They come through turn 11 and on to the start-finish straight once again at the tail end of lap 12. There'll be 3 to go when they cross the line. We might just stick with them for a moment. Espes seems to have quite a wide arc through the turn 2 hairpin. You see Perez once again taking defensive line. But you see straight out very wide, brings it back into the first apex, but very wide between the 2 apexes, I think. And obviously that was wider than usual because he had a car on his inside. But what I've noticed so far, Corey, is he does take quite a wide line through the 2 apexes, and I wonder if that'll bring Frattini into question at the same time, or into the equation, I should say, at the same time as Espes is attacking Perez later in the race, Corey.
It absolutely might, Alex, because we know Frattini is a little bit of an opportunist when it comes to that. If he sees a gap open, he will do everything in his power to try and send it into there. It looks like Espes is just really trying to have an advantage when it comes to corner exit speed at the moment, taking those slightly wider lines and just prioritizing getting off the corner rather than getting into the corner, which is not a bad plan. If you know, you have a bit of a straightaway coming up as he's going to the outside at the corkscrew and then managed to slot back in behind. So it's really hard to say how good this is going to be of a strategy, Alex, but I'm very invested in watching this and seeing if it will work out for him.
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting there that the overtaking around the outside of the first corner of the corkscrew is not so much the play as it is what follows from that, the inside to the second one. So interesting to see that Espes testing that line out already, although he backed out of the move. It's certainly a valid one. As across the line with 2 to go, immediately Perez takes that for me, a defensive line towards the cones, the pillars that mark the pit exit here at Laguna Seca. And once again, Espes pulls in behind. We've seen a change position between Wan Lin and side by side they go. I'll come back to that later. The battle for the lead is on, and this time he holds it even further as they go through at turn 4 this time round. The run up to turn 5 this time, Perez will be forced to defend from 2 cars as Frattini pull out to the outside, mate, get the better line. Now, what's Espes going to do with the run? He's got the cleaner on. Can he get underneath him and up the inside towards the kink? Yes, he can. Is he side by side? Is he up far enough? The question is, and the answer is yes. They will go side by side through and get it done. Perez possibly picking up the 1X. Oh, has Espes picked up the damage? No, there's no sparks, but Frattini's gone through. He's going to take advantage. Oh, Perez takes a beautiful line, compromises the other 2, both at the same time, if you don't mind. That's how you defend 2 cars at once. You take the racing line while the others are fighting for the scraps. Fantastic line there from Perez. And we remain 1, 2, 3. Spaniard, Italian, as Perez once again runs very wide into the penultimate corner. Comes back beautifully, rotates. See the rear of the car step out there as they go across the line for the penultimate time. Corey, what do they got for us in this last lap?
Well, we're going to find out here, Alex, as Espes is definitely further up beside Perez and where he was at this point of the track last time. He might actually have more overlap going into the corner. You see Perez getting squished out, squishing out wide Espes as far as he could just to get that little bit of a better run as Perez now retakes the lead, goes very defensive and then jags out towards the apex to try and get a better run through the corner. This is where the chess game is really starting to get into hyper mode, Alex. This is where they're going for every single move they can as up the inside goes Espes. Now what kind of a run will he have? What kind of run will Frattini have right now? They're going to go 3 wide going into turn 5.
3 wide they go in. 3 wide they come out. They get it done, but there's no way they're going 3 wide into the kink as Perez just tries to squeeze out Espes, just gets in front of him 2 by 2 just in time. Gets it done. They were kind of 1.5 to 2. I don't know, almost 3 wide through the kick that time round. But Perez comes out in front once again. This time Espes up the inside, but Perez will have the preferred line through the second apex. And Frattini chucks it up the inside of the exit of the corkscrew. Comes around down the hill around the outside. We'll have the inside run into turn 10, but Espes manages to get a nose in front and covers off, and it will be Perez coming into the final. They all run wide through there. Espes gathers it up, tries to throw the nose up the inside, but once again it is Perez who comes out of the final corner in front, leaving us with a 1, 2, 3 as we've been most of the race. And they get it done. Perez crosses the line for another victory here on a Sunday night. What a fit. We waited a long time, Corey, but geez, they got it there done at the end, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And what a display of racing expertise did they put on. 3 wide in turn 5. Who does that in anything? These guys put on an absolute show here tonight, and that was incredible to watch.
Amazing stuff as some of our drivers, particularly those licking their wounds, start crossing the line there. Dennis Johansson in the Doggermobile coming across down in 13th, and his customary finish to most races, although he's done well there. Triple Pike on the lid. Russian judge gave that a 7. And then just seeing where here comes Justin Watt and his return. He won't be the final clown. Unfortunately, we've had a couple of retirements in Swarovski and Hendrickson. The final clown on the track, at least, will be Justin Watt to finish it out. And I'm going to go and see if I can find somewhere that we can see 3 wide. Because I'm going to go back to when we saw the white flag, and we'll check out with our leaders. Just watch some of this back again. We might grab a different angle of it. Here we go. The 2 Spaniards side by side through to up. Very interesting. Watch this. You'll see as they exit through here, Perez parks it on the exit. Look at that. He absolutely parked it there. Did not come back across until he was sure that the position was his, and then Espes comes underneath, and as we called it at the time, 3 wide. This will be fascinating. 3 wide, if you don't mind. We'll hop on board with Frattini. We'll go roll bar. Slow down a bit. Where's the thing here? Look at this. This is how you go 3 wide through turn 5. But look at this. Look at the other 2 Spaniards will come back at him here. And now look at that. You can see there Perez just inching his way over to cut the nose off of Espes. Puts him on the grass a little bit. Well, the dirt it is here, of course, at Laguna Seca. And as they approach turn 5 here, the kink, they're still 3 wide. Espes finally forced to lift. Absolutely forced to lift as Perez went across on him, and then side by side through the kink. But Espes gathers it up, and you watch this here. He comes back at him. Comes back at Frattini up the hill with the better drive, and Perez all over the place on the dirt, as it through the outside is even harder to do than on the main line. Just absolutely amazing stuff from those 3. You will not see better racing than what we saw there. And then again through here, watch this line here from Perez. Absolutely amazing. You see him take a natural racing line, and then what it in turn does, and I'll see if I can get on Espes here. Espes is up the inside, but outbrakes himself, doesn't want to slide out. You see him locked up on the inside there, and then that gives Perez the racing line through the next corner. And look at Frattini crest the hill and come up the inside beautifully. And like I said, 2 for 1 defense. Beautiful stuff there. Absolutely amazing. Anyway, I've gone on long enough about that. Let's check let's check out our results. I'll get rid of that one, sorry. Let's just go that way. Turn that one off, please. I can hit the button no so many times. All right, let's grab our... Oh my gosh, I'm hitting all the buttons, Corey. It's not working. There we go. Scene 29, round 2, Laguna Seca. Christian Perez for Astro Racing. Flag to flag. I think he led every lap. He got close to the fastest lap, although no, Frattini got that. But fantastic race there from Perez to take pole by a mile and win it by a whisker. Pablo Espes was with him all the way and really took it to him to finish in second, as did Dario Frattini in third. Fantastic race for those 3. Put on the last lap or so. Rasmus Fiore, who's had pace here all week, finished in 4th. They had a Martin Booker. Great to see Marty Booker out there for Fungus Tart Racing, finishing in the top 5. Dimitri Philippides has rounded out a solid racing week with a P6 in the big one. And they're just ahead of Juan C. Lin, 5-star motorsport there in P7. Russell Clark, 3rd, leading ANZ driver here tonight. He'll be happy with that. For Team Milo, finishing in 8th. Hideki Ogihara, the lone Japanese driver for Nagai Racing School, supporting the series, finishing in 9th. Neil Gardner for ANZ. Captain 499 rounds out your top 10, just ahead of Chief Rival there and leading Clown driver. Clown car driver here tonight, Greg Adams, finishing in 11th. Adam Miles Ahead Racing, recovered after his journey through the pits to finish inside the points in P12, just ahead of Dennis Johansson, the Great Dane and the Dogomobile, finishing in 13th. Paul Wilson for ANZ finishing in 14th tonight, just ahead of Wave Italy Racing Team's Laura Samardio in 15th. Donald Sabanal, the other Team Milo driver, in 16th, just ahead of one of the other clown cars in Justin Watt, making his return to the top split on a Sunday night, finishing in 17th, ahead of the head clown himself, Mr. Vasco Sorovsky, who in 19th, who finished just one position ahead of our other retirement in Team Torpedoes, Tim Hendrickson. Well, Corey, that was how they ran, flag to flag. We waited for the action to come up. I think the action at the start sort of put pay to the mid stages of the race, so to speak, in terms of hot action on track. But gee, it warmed up at the end there, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely, Alex. That racing, you know, I'm going to call it from start to finish, was just really cool all the way through. But those last couple of laps were just absolutely mind-blowing with the pace that the top three were putting on display and the moves that they were attempting to make. They should all be absolutely elated with the way that race went for them, because that was so entertaining to watch. And I reckon all three of them would have had absolutely massive amounts of fun doing it.
Yeah, 100%. Very enjoyable to watch their massive battle. And speaking of massive battles, we had one of the participants there in that massive battle there at the end, Mr. Dario Frattini, who's been good enough to join us here. Dario, we waited for a long time for that action to heat up, but when it did, mate, it was pretty spectacular. What was it like from your cockpit?
Yeah, it was. I mean, the first part of the race was relatively boring, very strategic. I was hanging on to the guys at the front pretty easily, actually. Oftentimes leaving like 4/10, half a second, just so I could see all the markers and not make any mistakes or hit the curb like Adam did. And I also wanted Pablo not to feel like he couldn't attack Christian because I was too close. That didn't really matter in the end. But no, yeah. I mean, the last few laps were quite exciting. I thought there'd be better chances to overtake. They were relatively clean in that fighting, so I didn't really get a big window to overtake. And I thought I had at least one spot in the second to last lap, but Pablo put a very nice move on in the corkscrew, so I had to give up the position. And then just there on the last lap, is it turn 5? I didn't expect them to go 3 wide throughout the whole corner. And because when you're on the inside of turn 6, I mean, you have no idea if the car on the outside is going to take the 1X and go wide. So I left a car width to the outside, but turns out I could have gone wider, maybe kept second, but it's just the way it is, really.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. That run through the corkscrew on the final time, I thought you had one of the most spectacular over-unders or something going on there up the inside of Espes, but the fact that you went 3 wide through turn 5, almost 3 wide through the kink, and then nearly 3 wide. It was like 2.5 wide through the corkscrew. Just spectacular way to finish the race, mate. Congratulations. It was a lot of fun to watch and call there at the end. But well done. That's a great result, mate, there. Podium there for yourself. Good points, both in terms of the official season and for Sunday Night Lights. So congratulations on that and a great drive. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight, mate?
Well, thank you. Well, I want to say thank you to you especially because you had a lot of space this week and you didn't race. So that was probably a freebie for me. And yeah, obviously putting on a great show every week. So I can't wait to watch it back.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Dario. Great to talk to you, mate. Look forward to seeing you again and perhaps having a race next week. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, Corey, Dario Frattini, part of the Three Musketeers out there tonight who put on an amazing show. That last half a lap was one for the ages.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And you could hear in his voice that he was happy with the way they went. Like, he wasn't completely happy, but he had fun. And that's the main thing that we try and push here is the whole having fun bit. As I was just watching the stream and I seen us getting run over by Tim Hendrickson there.
That wasn't fun.
No, that wasn't. But It was a great race, and he put all the stops out on that final lap to just try and make one position, let alone trying to take the win. It didn't work out for him, but there's always next week, and he's definitely one of the more tenacious kind of drivers. So I expect him to be running up the front again and challenging for the win once more.
Yeah, look, agreed. I thought he drove really well tonight. Almost got dropped by the two Spaniards out front. Used the draft effectively to get back in touch. Well, there's no guarantee. So if you don't have the pace, the draft does nothing for you. So he did well to get back into it. Showed some good patience and strategy. And then, you can only roll the dice there at the end in so many ways. And he can't be accused of holding back. Certainly 3 wide through turn 5 is a testament to that. But next on our list of drivers, there's top 5 finisher here, Mr. Martin Booker. Marty, welcome back to the action on a Sunday night. Top 5 is nothing to sneeze at here, mate.
Yeah, I'm pretty pleased with that. I just sort of kept my nose clean. I was punching above my weight, so I put a tyre in the gravel. Was looking like losing the front pack, so I tried to let Rasmus go, but it was too late. So yeah, I was just sort of like tootle round by myself, just making sure I didn't hit any sausages after that. But yeah, pretty pleased with P5.
Yeah, we've done well, mate. The pace was on up front, but you were down in the mid 35s, which is nothing to sneeze at around here. And a top 5 finish is mate, a fantastic result on a night like tonight, where like I said, the pace was really, really on. So congratulations. Great to see you out here, mate. I hope we can get to see you a bit more often. It'd be good. I'll see you floating around Twitch all week. It's great to see you here on a Sunday night.
Yeah, permanent chat, Twitch chat whore. So I thought I'd better at least do a few races. Yeah, good to be back.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Well, great to see you out there. Anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
Just you guys for the broadcast every week. It's fantastic. The big push to get sort of Skippy's back in the limelight. You guys were at the very forefront of that. So thanks for all the work you put in.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate
Adam,
it.
Of course, for Adam for doing his thing, and just all good.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I agree. Adam puts in a lot of work. He's doing a good job up there too. And not only is he doing a good job for the community, he's doing a good job out on their track as well, when he's not hitting big bollards at turn 6. But 2 in a row. Couldn't believe it for the poor bloke.
Yeah.
Anyway, mate, great to talk to you and look forward to seeing you again out there soon.
Thanks, Alex. Good to talk, mate.
There you go, Corey Martin Booker, one of the good guys in the community. He's always hanging around with those who are good enough to put up a stream and having a chat, and always got good things to say, and he's certainly no slouch on the track either.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. He qualified finished in 5th. Great result considering he is 11 car, but that just brings forward the front of. It doesn't matter what your I rating is when you get into a race. It's all about how good you are on the night at the track, and Martin Booker definitely was right up there on the night, and coming home P5. It's a great finish for him, and hopefully bigger and better things for him as we move on in the season.
Yeah, 100%. Speaking of moving on, we'll move on to our final driver in the commentary booth here tonight, up 6 positions from where he started. Car number 19, somewhat, I think, reluctantly sneaking into the field, but walking away with 38 I rating and some SNL points. Mr. Greg Adams, the leading clown car driver here tonight. Greg, how does that feel?
Yeah, you won't hear that too often, I don't think. But
not with 3 clown cars in the field, eh?
Yeah, 3 clowns strong tonight, and somehow or other I came out on top, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I was going to say I was a bit of a tail gunner report, but somehow or other I ended up in the middle.
Yeah, well, that's right. And of course, the renewed rivalry with Neil Gardner throughout the race kept you busy, but great result there inside the points, and just a whisker outside the top 10, mate. You've got to be happy with that.
Yeah, no, very happy. It's sort of been a pretty average start to the season for me, but yeah, nice to get a positive end of the week.
Beautiful. All right, mate. Well, hopefully, if we can keep that I rating moving in the right direction, there'll be more of it. And of course, when the I rating goes up, it also means that the track time's paying off. So hopefully we'll see more of that soon for you, mate. But before we let you go, mate, is there anyone like to give a shout out to?
Oh, I've got to say thanks to to my brother clowns, Vass, Justin, Doug, and Martin in the background, and of course to yourself, Corey, and Alex for putting on the putting on this broadcast. It's always good to watch.
Yeah, beautiful, mate. Really appreciate it. And a big shout out to the newest clown in Mark Lay as well. We just need to get him in here on the race on a Sunday night, and we can have more clowns the merrier, mate.
To him tonight.
That's it. Hopefully we'll see him again soon. All right, Greg, mate, thanks for dropping in. Great to talk to you, and look forward to talking to you again soon.
Thanks.
There you go, Corey. Leading clown car driver tonight, Mr. Greg Adams. Great to get him up here after a good result.
Oh, absolutely, Alex. And I don't think before this race started, he would have expected to be the leading clown at the end of it, especially coming in as the 19th plated car. But he kept his nose clean. He did what he needed to do, and he came out of this with a really positive result and some positive I rating out of it. And as you said, if the I rating goes up, it means the track time's paying off, and that rings more true than ever, especially for these the clown drivers, because they're all guys that have worked their way up through the lower splits, and 3 of them in the top split tonight. Definitely nothing to sneeze at, and it sounds like the Shutter of Clowns is going to come and take over before too long.
Yeah, well, you never know, mate. There's a few around, and there's they're on the way up. That's for sure. More and more blue and yellow cars. Was it a blue? Maybe I'm a bit colourblind, but you can certainly see those wheels, Jeepers. Yeah, that's it. But hopefully we'll see more of them moving up, because that means the ANZ guys are moving up at the same time. But folks, that might just about do us here tonight. Congratulations once again to Christian Perez for taking out a fantastic victory just ahead of Pablo Esparza, who I'm hoping we'll see more of in amongst it, because certainly taking it up and putting it on here at the front of the field is good for all of us. Great for the action, great for the series, and putting on a great show for what this series really is. But folks, Corey, why don't you tell the folks at home what you got going on this week?
So this week on Wednesday, the Output Racing League will be tackling the Talladega Super Speedway for the MS Awareness 70, which will be a little bit of fun. 70 laps around the Talladega Super Speedway. The broadcast for that will be coming out on the Aussie Sim Commentator channel, twitch.tv/Aussie_Sim_commentator on Thursday around about 11:25 a.m. Western Australian time, GMT +8. And I'm still recovering actually from the weekend here, but the videos from last night at the Pinjar Park Raceway will be up on YouTube tomorrow morning. It'll be feature races only, and a couple of highlights videos that I made literally just a couple of hours before we started this broadcast off, Alex. So I'll put a lot of work into that, and I'd really appreciate it if you guys go check that out. And that'll be on the Speedway Memes Media YouTube channel. And then next week, it's back here again with you, Alex, as we go and tackle Lime Rock Park, the West Bend chicane.
Yeah, mate, that'll be an interesting one. Look, Lime Rock's famous for its racing. There has particular style. You throw in that West Bend chicane. We haven't done that in the officials that I can remember of. Certainly has a unique character and a flavour to the latter stages of the lap there at Lime Rock. So looking forward to that one. But folks, thank you for joining us here as always on the Top Split. You can find the race replay over at our YouTube channel there called The Top Split, where this and all the other race replays for our 29 seasons now of Sunday and Monday Night Lights are up there. Of course, you can find us here at Top Split TV on Twitch each and every week at 9:15 Australian Eastern Time. Next week, we're an hour sort of different because we're going into daylight savings. But check it out at the Top Split Discord community. That's where we'll put out all the information around the times and everything, so you'll know where it is. And I'll see what I can do about putting something up on Twitter as well, just to make sure that everyone knows what time and we can keep the momentum going here on a Sunday night. But folks, that'll do us. Thank you one and all for joining us. It's been fantastic to have you all here each and every week. Thank you. A big shout out to the community, the Skippy community that supports us here. It's a great core bunch of blokes, of drivers who come out and support the series, just generally, but also here on a Sunday night, and we really do appreciate it. Make sure you go to all those places, hit like, subscribe, thumbs up, all those sorts of things. Help us get the word out there. It's the best way to promote the series and what we do. But, folks, on behalf of the chaotic one himself, Mr. Corey Steinhauser, I'm Alex McKellar. And for now, and until next time, I will say, ciao for now.